Welcome back everybody to another video. In this video I am gonna compare the RSP-1576 by ROTEL and the ARCAM AVR 390. Why am I comparing these older models? Is for the simple fact that there are features that I haven't seen talked about on any other channel. On top of that, there's things here that I know most people are unaware of with an Atmos processor and an Atmos AVR. So you're going to learn some things, and I'm going to try to go through this information as quickly as I can, so feel free to rewind. And on top of that, I thought it'd be fun to do a comparison video between these two models. So another reason why I picked these two models is because they retail brand new when it came out at $2,499 US dollar. One is a surround processor or a pre-pro, which is the ROTEL RSP-1576. The ARCAM is an AVR, which is audio video receiver. They both can output 4K at 60 Hz, and they both have the auto shut-off feature. And of course, the usual suspects, they both can do Dolby Digital, DTS, Dolby Atmos, and DTS-X. So to be fair, for power output on both of these, I tested them both on an external amp, and the external amp that I'm using is by ROTEL, model number RKB-8100V2, is an 8-channel amplifier. The sounding of the processor will be subjected to ears and all your equipments. That being said, I will give you guys my take on these two. Also, they both have newer models currently still in 2022, and I'm sure both have improved in sound quality even further. The ARCAM AVR is not a dedicated processor, so it slightly runs a little warm, but not as warm as if you were to run it with the internal amp. The ROTEL is a dedicated sound processor, so it runs cool to the touch. Starting with the ROTEL 1576, the sound separation amplifies the surround speakers with ease, and you can clearly hear at lower volumes. Otherwise would be faint on other AVRs. The user interface is simple to navigate, but the remote control buttons needs improvement because it sits a little too high, so when you push it down, there's a slight delay. But it doesn't affect the quality of the remote. I just thought it could be better tuned, in my opinion. When running Dolby Atmos and DTS-X tracks using the Oppo UDP 203 4K Blu-ray player, sound is fantastic. Along with Dolby Vision and HDR10, looks beautiful on the ROTEL processor. Although the audio return channel seems not capable of decoding Dolby Atmos, even though my display and the source I'm using shows a Dolby Atmos track signal. When using ARC, it only decodes in Dolby Digital and DTS. No sound from the height presence is detected. If anyone knows why that is, please comment below. On the gaming note, on a 4K TV display with direct connection through HDMI, has the capabilities to decode DTS-X, output games at 2160p at 60 Hz and 1080p at 120 Hz. On a side note, in order to run 1080p at 120 Hz correctly through the processor, you'll have to disable HDMI Ultra HD Deep Color on your TV display. So my recommendation, if you're running ARC between Dolby Digital and DTS is going to give you the superior sound quality. Swapping to the ARCAM 390, immediately the calibration sound levels are at least 5 decibels louder than the ROTEL at the same level. Probably means nothing because you can always calibrate your DPs, but I just thought I mentioned that. The UI for the ARCAM is also simple to navigate, and the remote control is responsively quicker than the ROTEL. Running Dolby Atmos and DTS extract sound. The sound is phenomenal. Dolby Vision and HDR10 looks amazing on the RCAM, and it seems to look slightly better than when running the RCAM with the internal amp. As far as the audio return channel, the RCAM does decode Dolby Atmos with ease. I noticed when running ARC with the external amp, the power with the ARC is equivalent as to when running HDMI directly to the source. Because normally when you run ARC with the AVR internal amp, the audio return channel outputs less power even with the Atmos enabled. In other words, you lose no amplification power through running ARC when using the ARCAM AVR 390 with an external amp. Now, on the gaming note, on a 4K display with the RCAM with a direct connection through HDMI, it has also the capability to decode DTS:X, output games at 2160p at 60 Hz, 1080p at 120 Hz, and 1440p at 120 Hz. On a side note, I only tested it I only remember testing 1440p at 120 Hz on my HP 27i monitor. So 1440p at 120 Hz may not work on your TV display. But for certain, on your TV display, when you're running 120 Hz, 1080p will definitely work, and 2160p at 60 Hz will work, and DTS:X when you do direct connect. Just on a side note. So between the ROTEL RSP 1576 and the ARCAM AVR 390, the ARCAM overall does more and is a clear winner over the 1576. And with respect to the RSP 1576, they did upgrade it with the RSP 1576 MK2 surround processor. Regarding the price point for both of them, at retail, the ARCAM is also a better value for the money. On a personal note, I do love both the sound quality of the ROTEL and ARCAM, and that is why I chose both of them. But if I had to choose between the two, it will definitely have to be the ARCAM brand, or the ARCAM AVR 390. So now you guys have a better overview of these two models and brand, and it should help determine your purchase with their current and newer lineups. As far as if you want to know whether to go the route with separates components or an all-in-one combo AVR, the main difference is that separates will give your speakers torque along with more horsepower. Thanks guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hooded Dragons out.